to another episode of Carpool. Very excited this week. Like a bit of a hero of mine I've never met before. TV viewers in the United Kingdom will no doubt be very aware of some of his work. I could just drop a couple of names. Father Ted, the IT Crowd. You know, just brilliant writing. Basically, the guy that wrote them. Please welcome into the passenger seat, Graham Linehan.
I had a really weird experience of Twitter because I, like everyone else, didn't know what it was.
No.
And then Jonathan Ross outed me.
Right.
By writing to me and saying, "Is Glinner on Twitter you?" And I said, "Yeah." And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then I looked at my following count, and that had been a bit of a mystery to me up until that point.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of, God, Twitter doesn't explain things to you.
Yes.
And it had gone up by something like 4,000 in one day, you know. So I thought, oh my God, this is incredible. And then suddenly I felt like I was on stage.
Yes.
And I thought, whatever I write next into this
a lot of
box,
people are going to see, or could potentially see it.
Yeah, it better be interesting.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I guess.
But you are. I mean, there's no, because I follow about 300 people.
Yeah.
And yours are, without question, in my top 10 of actual. Because you post interesting stuff, and you say, and you've like the NHS thing was amazing. That how quickly.
Yeah. And what was weird about that was I kind of thought that might happen. I had a suspicion that might happen. It was I guess the first big viral campaign in England that kind of got people's attention. I mean, you know, the thing that the activism that got people's attention before that was obviously the much more the much more important Iran election. Yeah. But it was the first time that I think people in the UK realised, oh wow, we can use this to do something, you know. Yeah. And you know, it did have an effect because it got a lot of Americans wondering why, if our health system was apparently so appalling, according to Fox News, were so many people, you know, behind it over here, you know. Yeah. But it was a cheat because I called it. I called it. I love the NHS, so no one could write anything critical and use that hashtag. Yes. So it's terrible. It wasn't fair. It does kind of frustrate me how people don't realise what a tool they've got in their hands. You know, I mean, like for instance, I went to the missing persons website the other day because I was curious. And you have these posters of people who've gone missing, and I thought, here's something where they say it's incredibly important to get things moving in the first few hours. When someone goes missing, the first few hours are crucial. You know, so why don't missing persons have a Twitter presence? Yes. You know, why doesn't the police have a more kind of a Twitter presence that's kind of useful to people? Yes. You know, why are people being so slow to realise what they've got in their hand? Yeah. They're the only newspaper that has begun to understand the kind of, or the only news outlet that has begun to understand what they've got, you know, in their hands is in England. It's the Guardian. Yeah. And I think in America it could be the New York Times. I think the New York Times it's very savvy. Really tech savvy, aren't they? Yeah. And it's like, you know, they're just being left behind. Yeah. We're evolving. Yes. I don't mean you and me. No. I mean people who use Twitter and who are part of this connectedness are evolving. Yes. And they're evolving faster than all these other people. Absolutely. And it's like you know, you gotta catch up. Yeah. You've got to catch up because the world could be so much better, you know. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It's not just I've got to catch up because it's trendy. Yeah. And Britney Spears is on Twitter. I mean, that is totally irrelevant. Because I love that when someone tweeted me, you know, are you upset that, and I can't even remember her name, a very young pop star, manufactured pop star girl has left Twitter. I was going, right, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus.
But there's someone who left Twitter because she was doing the cliched thing. She was literally posting what she was having for lunch. Right. You know, so obviously Twitter's going to be a bit of a drag on her time, and she's going to wonder, you know, she's not really using it in a creative way. Even in a cheap self-promoting buy my new album way. At least you know where you stand then. Yeah. I was thinking last night, how feasible would it be for me to, in the morning before you arrive, go to a local newsagent, buy a big pile of crisps, and then during this interview say, could you stop for a few minutes, and then run into the shop, grab the crisps and run back out and just go, drive, 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 drive.
But just because there was loads, as you can imagine, lots of Father Ted Black Book IT crowd questions, because I don't. Well, one of the ones was, is there going to be more IT crowd, which I don't know.
Yeah,
there is.
There is. It's really weird. I can't seem to get that information out in a way that sticks.
A lot of people asked that, so presumably a lot of people didn't know.
And it shows me that Twitter has got some gaps, some weaknesses, because every so often I might write, just finished an episode of the IT crowd, it's going very well or whatever, and thousands of people don't see it.
Yes.
Because it's a live. And
it disappears into the torrent. If you're not there watching the torrent, you're not going to see it. No, I certainly experienced that a lot.
But I'm so stuck. Man, I'm stuck.
Are you?
Yeah. This is one of the things I'm hoping will unblock.
Right.
Unblock the sync. And,
But are you? Because I don't. I should. One of my prides and joys is I don't do research.
Oh no, that's
I'm really rubbish, but I don't know. I mean, do you write the IT crowd on your own? Is that
I do, and I'm kind of I'm trying to figure out a way that I can stop writing on my own, because because it's not enjoyable. Writing with a writing partner is just the most fun you can have. Yeah, and that comes across, and writing on your own is it's just harder, and I mean, the brilliant thing about the IT crowd is once I get it into the studio, the actors become
they take it over, and
they're very much co-writers.
Right.
They'll just, for instance, I'll get to a scene that doesn't make sense in terms of what a person would really do, and it might be moving from anger to happiness too quickly, and they'll worry about that. They won't be able to play it, so they'll just keep at me until I rewrite it, and that's all great. I love that.
Well, because that's then a big social process as well, isn't it? I mean, you're in with a lot of other people.
And also, it's actually easier to have to jump through hoops as a writer than it is to sit down on your own thinking, do they go into a shop? Do they? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Does he fall over? When you've got a choice of anything, when anything can happen. Yeah. In other words, when you're writing a first draft, it's really, really difficult. Yeah. But then when things get a little bit more controlled, and you know what the story's about, and you know that you have to do this, this, and this, then your little writing jobs become a lot clearer and more fun.
It isn't in the general public domain that the TV industry is effectively dead, or certainly on its knees and coughing its last breath.
Well, it's certainly, it's...
well, the TV industry as we knew it, I mean, certainly as it was, even 2 years ago. I mean,
that's why I think it's another reason why it's very important for people to embrace the new world, and and technology and so on. It's the same with music industry, It's why I'm very, very vocal on the whole Mandelson trying to ban people from having an internet connection, which is just ridiculous.
But it just, I mean, I can't. I mean, my anxiety with all those, ideas of tightening up and don't let them take my is they'll find another way. I mean, my teenage son is the perfect, huge IT crowd fan, but is they just know how to do it.
Yeah.
And they don't even. There's not any question. There's no hesitancy about it. Legality or anything like that, because they don't feel criminals.
But they're not criminals.
They're not criminals.
Most of them are fans, and most of them, like here's a good example. The film Up was released something like this time last year in the United States, or 5 or 6 months ago. If you have people like me and most Pixar fans, you are rabid about Pixar, and you want to see it quickly, and the idea of having to wait, it's ridiculous. Why should I wait?
What is that about?
Why are you treating me as being less important than the American viewers? So people are going to download it and watch it. Most people, I believe, most people who do that are the same kind of people who, as soon as the film comes out, they buy it.
We'll buy it anyway.
And they go and see it in the cinema.
I mean, that is true. But it's the old model is broken.
The old model's broken,
and no one seems to know how to. How to work. But I mean, I think a very good example I remember reading about was I think Nigeria, where there is a indigenous film industry, and they've got, you know, the way they've done it is there is an armed guarded compound somewhere which is the edit facility, and the stock goes in there and it does not come out.
No internet.
No internet connection, no nothing at all.
Right.
And then they release the film on a day.
Yeah.
That it's going to be released in every cinema in
well, that's why Nigerian cinema is the power. But then they've already got the official DVDs, which they sell that day as well. Right.
And that way they've reduced the piracy down to, you know, it still happens because there's about 800 people in every cinema.
But you know, I don't think that's gonna. I think rather than, I mean, that's kind of, I guess that's gonna work there for whatever reasons.
And it's also a contained place.
But here, I think, you know, the whole question of distribution and, you know, the region coding and all that stuff, all that's got to be questioned.
Yes.
And people aren't questioning it they're because they're spending too much time thinking, how do we punish these naughty boys? You know, it's like, no, stop thinking about that. Start thinking about how you can take advantage of these you know, these tech savvy people who want to see stuff quickly. You know? Like I could be wrong, but I bet you the iTunes store and you know, I bet you that's a huge success.
Oh, it's the biggest music distributor in the world.
Yeah, because you go bump and there you've got it. And people, I think most people would rather do that than, you know, download stuff for free.
Yeah, well, now they've done it just DRM. You can get DRM free ones, so you can put them on anything. Yeah. You know, that was a restriction, certainly, that iTunes used to have.
DRM, everything. They do everything. Oh, what they're doing, you know, I think Cory Doctorow of Boing Boing points this out. You've got governments and the music industry and all these people, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get our brilliant computers that are changing our lives, and they're trying to make them less useful. Yes. You know? Yeah. With DRM and all this stuff, and it's crazy, you know. And what it might be doing is it's helping the music industry make elephant books for a few more years. Yeah. But it's not helping the rest of us evolve. No. You know?
Or the musicians.
Or the musicians. It's not really helping the musicians. You know.
I mean, I used to, you know, lots of people used to buy Red Dwarf DVDs.
Yeah.
And they still do, but to a tiny extent of what they used to.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was part of my income, and that was how the whole thing was built.
That's like, you know, really important source of income, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just gone completely down, you know. But, you know, I mean, you've just got to take it on the chin and say,
absolutely,
you know what, we've got to find other ways of getting content out there and getting paid for it, you know.
And also, I mean, there was a side of the DVD when, you know, at their height, when I can't remember what they would be, 14, 15 quid for a very small piece of plastic. Yes. A plastic box.
And there's another thing.
That had been a fiver. I wonder if that would have, people would still buy them, you know. It's kind of,
yeah. But there's another thing. Yeah, for years, CDs have been overpriced, and we have been, and the music industry has been fucking us. Yeah, but they've been doing it by fucking the consumer, you know. And then, you know, you know, there's no question of if you lost a CD, would they give you another free one? But they expect you to constantly buy
the new
music, you know.
That's quite impressive.
We've got an Iron Man impressionist on the street. Wow. What could that be for? Could that be for, oh, it's for Oscar's Den, the party people.
Ah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go, we give them a free plug.
Maybe I should get a twit pic so
I think we
can
yes, that would be very
combine
good.
the two. Okay.
If we're going to be able to see him now, of course, because there's
a massive truck in the way.
Damn, the timing's going to be... oh, you might just do it. I'll just go...
I've got one chance.
Ah, damn.
I got it. Wow. Oh, this is going to be the worst twit pic ever.
No,
I got him!
You got him! Well done!
That's brilliant! Alright. Where were we?
We were solving the world's copyright issues.
It's annoying me that it's taken so long already.
Yeah.
But the world is completely different from the world 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's completely different. And all sorts of ideas that we've long held don't work.
Yeah.
You know, ideas that, you know, some ideas to do with communism, some ideas for capitalism, all these ideas that for years we've thought, well, that doesn't work because people are like this, despite everybody's all these idiot commentators' fears about Twitter. It's not driving people away from each other and stopping their ability to speak. No. The amount of friendships that have sprung up because of Twitter, the amount of relationships that have happened because of it.
Oh really? What, have people got off with each other?
Oh yeah. When I asked what has Twitter done for you, I did a hashtag, what has Twitter done for you? A lot of people were saying that they met their current husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend.
Oh, because it's pretty quick then. I mean, it's fairly fairly fresh wife stroke husband.
Yeah. But I'd say just right about now. Yeah. The first Twitter baby's being born.
Yes, you're probably right. Wow.
You know.
That is quite shocking, isn't it? We should talk about something other than Twitter, though.
Yes. Even though I am a Twitter bore, though.
No, me too. No, I'm terrible. I have to keep it. I'm absolutely repressed at home. I never mention it because the look I get.
What's brilliant about it is, and I think the reason teenagers were so. Sorry, still talking about it. Yeah. But the reason teenagers were slow to pick up on it was because teenagers have long been told, well, be careful about privacy online. Yeah. And then there's this thing, then you post things and it becomes, it's out there in the public sphere.
Yes.
But what's great about it is you choose those things. You choose what goes online.
You don't say anything else.
It's much better than Facebook where everything...
I find it really difficult to use. And also the people behind it. I've just read about
dodgy people behind
it. Bloody dodgy people. I don't want to do them.
Isn't there a guy behind Facebook who was involved in the wiretapping scandal in the States?
I'm sure he is. I mean, he's a sort of rabid neocon. I mean, he's a rabid right-wing.
Yeah, you don't want, folks. You don't want rabid neocons controlling your personal information.
And also that thing.
If you got a rabid neocon and he has a picture of some Democrat, showing her breasts at a party when she was 18, do you think he's not going to let that slip out somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, you deleted it. I just happen to have a backup copy here.
Even Obama did a speech about it where he said, be careful what you put on Facebook. It's becoming that much of a problem. People are losing jobs.
Is that quite recently?
Wow. People are losing jobs. People are, job interviews are going south because
they'll always check your Facebook page.
Yeah. So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Enough of that.
Enough of that.
Right-wing Nazi Facebook. I mean, that's always my advice to any actor is, try and find something else to do. It's such a cruel business.
Yes.
Because even if you're really successful, it's a cruel business, and if you're not very successful, it's a cruel. I can't see. Yeah. But then, there's a lot of happy actors and lovely people. Well,
you do get these jobs, don't you? Where everything. I mean, I had a great time writing Ted and making Ted and
that must have been such a blast doing that.
And I think the actors enjoy IT crowd. I think we've reached a place now where we all have a good time on the IT crowd. It was hard at the start where we were all trying to find a tone and stuff, but now it's we kind of agree that this is the right way to go, and we're enjoying ourselves, But it's the work in the end. That's the thing that's fun. That's why I want to start writing with someone else.
Yeah.
Because if you're not enjoying the actual day-to-day work, then we're certainly not getting paid as much as we used to.
No.
So we might as well enjoy the work.
Yes. It is funny, isn't it, that you can adjust. I find that quite intriguing. That I was reminded of that recently when I was with an old mate whose house I'd stayed in when I was making a Red Dwarf years ago, and we were paid very well in the last couple of series of Red Dwarf. But all I ever did, I can't really remember it, and I'm so ashamed, was moan and whinge about it.
Oh, really?
And compare what we were getting to what the Men Behaving Badly cast were getting, because I knew them and I knew how much they were.
Yeah.
And it was the most obscene. When you look back at it, you go, who was that little shitter? What did he think he was doing?
If you only, what did they say? Youth is wasted on the young.
Oh, well, yeah.
I now think, well, why can't I have my 30s again? Not my 20s, my 30s.
Yeah.
And do it right.
Yes.
It's funny, but you're always an idiot in retrospect.
Yeah.
You look back and you think, I know I'm going to look back when I'm 60 and think, what a young idiot I was at 40.
So that's true, because I'm now thinking, I've not really thought about that before, but I don't look back at any period in my life and go,
oh, well done.
I was so cool then. I really got it sussed.
No.
I wish I could say the things I used to say when I was 30, because they were so cool. I'm so ashamed of 99% of everything I ever spoke.
Yeah. No, it's
annoying, isn't it? I've not actually reflected on that before.
No, it's depressing. Well, I don't know. Maybe that will kind of make you realise that it's the now.
It's the now that matters.
It's the now that matters,
Yeah.
Because really, it's all going past, and soon it'll be over, and, and that'll be it.
Oh,
you know?
God.
I've got a little click in my knee, and every time I hear it, I think, oh, I'm going to die. I hacked my brain accidentally recently. This is a great story. I was doing this thing. I don't know whether whether you do this, but I was putting on caps lock and writing, and then I forget exactly how it works. But what happens is you write a bit, and then you look up, and you notice that the first letter isn't capitalized, and all the rest of the letters are. So you've written a sentence that's all shouting, and you're going, and you have to delete the whole thing because you've left on caps lock by mistake. So I was doing it too much, and it was driving me nuts, you know. So what I did was I did some searching online, and I thought, how can I stop doing it? And I said, does anyone know how I can get out of this habit? You know. And someone sent me a link to a website where it just disabled caps lock. So caps lock just stopped working.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
So if you press it, does it? It gives you. It's the same as the shift.
Yes, exactly. Same as the shift. So I started. So I was doing it, and it was working great. But then I thought, well, I kind of need caps lock for certain things, you know.
Writing a
so I thought I'll reinstall it, you know. So I reinstalled caps lock, but I trained my brain to stop doing the thing that it was doing, and now I don't do it. But I've got caps lock back.
Yeah. Wow.
You know. So it's I kind of accidentally hacked my brain.
Wow. It is. Do you think about that? I remember listening to Rob and Doug discuss that years and years ago, writing Red Dwarf, about the jokes about contemporary issues, which I think they generally try to avoid. Although now I look back at old Red Dwarfs and go, God, there's so many references to stuff that's now so dated.
It is a balancing act, you know. I mean, people ask me why I don't have more nerd jokes in the IT crowd. Someone said, why do you just have things that could happen to anybody, and not more nerd jokes and stuff? And it's because that'll date it
very quickly.
Yeah, you know, like Google search, even Twitter search might be outdated in a year, you know.
Or Google Wave. You could do a joke about Google Wave. And then in 2 years' time, Google have withdrawn Google Wave. Exactly. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. Let's see what happens first, you know. Yeah. So, but then again, it does mean that you kind of, you could be behind the curve. Like, for instance, I thought my social networking episode of the IT crowd was way behind the curve.
Right.
But I guess that was because I was kind of, making sure that enough people knew about it.
Know what it even roughly related to.
Yeah, it may seem hard to believe, but there was a time when you said Facebook to people and they didn't know what you were talking about, you know?
Yeah.
This great example of Murphy's Law. Do you know Murphy's Law?
No, it was presumably different from Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law is whenever you correct someone on their grammar, there will be a grammatical mistake in the sentence.
In your correction?
Yes. So
Murphy's Law,
Murphy's Law, yeah. But I did a PC version where yesterday I got shocked that people weren't using things like Firefox and Chrome, and they were still using Internet Explorer, and I was saying why it's more secure and stuff like this. And last night I got home and my PC had died. so then without thinking I thought, oh, my fucking PC has died, and I tweeted that, and so I looked like, oh right, okay, that's because you're stepping outside of the you're using these unsafe things, Such a pain.
Oh, that was someone did ask that for you, whether you use a Mac or a PC, and I didn't. I said,
oh my God, I'm so sick of every time I ask a PC question, people say get a Mac. Right. Every time I ask a Mac question, because I got two,
yes, exactly,
everyone says get a PC.
I've only had experience of the Amstrad PCW classic computer of the 1980s and a Mac, and all I know is they all go wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't really used PCs very much, but they definitely.
I like PCs. People are down on them, but
I think that's going to. Well, with Windows 7.
Yeah.
I think it'll all change anyway.
I need to go home now and figure out how to start my computer.
Yeah. How annoying though? Does that? But,
it doesn't happen a lot. It's just, but I get. I've got this gaming system, and I have to say, ever since I got the new one, it's just not worked. It's gone back to the shop 3 times.
Oh God!
So I think I might just ditch it and get a new one.
Yeah.
I think I might get my money back actually, which I never do.
So presumably it's sort of a high-end, high-powered PC
Yeah. It's like my one, because I don't drive a car or anything, so my one big
indulgence.
Expense. Yeah, my indulgence is a big high-end PC that plays games very smoothly.
Is that I don't have any choice about writing.
Yes.
I could choose to do gardening or cattle management, but I can't. I end up back in front of a keyboard and I'm writing again. And
yes, well, you know.
So I'm sure you have the.
Yeah, but not because I'm driven to write, but more because if I had to rely on any other skill, I'd die. You know, I can barely tie my shoelaces. I don't think of writing as this great thing unless you're doing it with a partner. I think having a writing partner is just the most wonderful thing. It makes, you know, you're stuck and you can go for a walk and you know, have a chat or see a film, and you know, and then the idea comes about when you're in the pub by accident, and it's just a lovely way to you know, to work.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
I could probably eat something.
Yeah?
You are? Yeah. I mean,
there's a great greasy cafe.
Well, I've been there with Dan.
Yeah?
Yeah, a long time ago, but yeah. So we could try that, can we? Is that just on that bit there, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do we mean by how does the brain work?
Yeah.
That begs the question that we know what the question is.
Yes.
So what do we mean by work? In one sense, we know it's composed of brain cells and there's chemical messengers, transmitters, we know those things. But when you see work, it has so many different functions, the brain, that you can't really. I mean, the biggest thing it does, and the most exciting thing, and the most unassailable thing, is to generate consciousness.